Hey guys, this is Avi from Figure Fight Club. I have Amber Nova here. You've seen her all over the indies. We're going to jump right into it. So, who is
Yeah.
Amber Nova?
Amber Nova is your all-American muscle, badass mechanic. I'm a former EMT. I'm the daughter of a mechanic. I drive a 1973 all-American muscle Chevy Nova. Hence my nickname Nova and how I always got it growing up. I have drove two Novas. So Amber Nova is just made up of a bunch of things. And I like to really incorporate women's equality into the ring, meaning, I'm a former EMT. I'm a mechanic. I drive a classic car. I break the stigma with women in many different ways.
Oh, great. That's good. Now, you talked about the classic car. You drive a Chevy Nova. We've all seen it. It's great. Beautiful car. I'm
Thank you.
personally, a fan of European cars. Personal.
They're
But
fast too.
yes, yes. So what kind of got you into the American muscle?
My dad. So what got me into cars was my dad, he's a mechanic. He restores classic cars. So my whole life growing up, he'd always be restoring some kind of old car. And when it came time, I was about 17. I was like, all right, well, what kind of car do I want to get? My first car. And he was restoring the 69 SS two-door Nova. He's now restoring a 69 SS Chevelle. Good year choice.
Mhm.
Um, Favorite year choices would be like 60s to 70s. But yeah, I was like, that's what I want. I want a muscle car. And I've put a lot of money and work and time with my dad into it. And it means a lot to me.
No, that's great. Now, do you race that car?
I do not, because I don't want to beat it up.
Okay.
It's a lot of work, when you have to fix car parts and you're racing it, things get broken. And I'd rather keep it nice and clean and get to drive it every
But you,
day.
you did win a award for a show car though recently, right?
Yes, I did. And it is my daily driver. I took it to the Promenade Sunset Walk car show this past weekend. It's out here in Orlando, Florida, Kissimmee to be specific. And I did win first place. So first place out of top three. And there was quite a lot of cars there. So it felt really good.
No, that's great. Now let's go back into why you're wrestling. So were you a fan of wrestling growing up?
Hence my NWO Nova World Order baby cup. Yes. I'm really proud to say that Scott Hall is one of my mentors, and I met him when I first moved to Orlando and started wrestling. And he's a fan of mine. He's honestly my inspiration when it comes to me in the ring as a bad guy and just putting on that, whole persona. So yeah, growing up, I was a big fan of wrestling. My dad got me into that too. You could say I'm a daddy's girl, cars, wrestling, the whole thing. So yes.
Okay. How did Skull Hall mentor you?
He'd watch me in training, practice matches. He'd watch my matches back with me and give me character ideas. Just comment on me and my wrestling gear when I've changed it up a bit, what he likes, what he doesn't like. The stuff I do with my wrench or my grease rag, the bad guy stuff, how I act in the ring. Lots of just really good advice.
Okay, okay. That's great. Is there anyone else who's inspired you in the wrestling?
Yes, Larry Zabisco. He's, I'm really big on old school wrestling. I like just technical transitional wrestling, not the whole run the ropes and run the ropes. And, that's fun and stuff. When things need to get hot, let's get hot and let's get heavy at the end. But I really like just, catch style wrestling. So that type of technique. Who else? I mean, I grew up watching Goldberg and Sting, who I got to meet for the first time as a coworker at AEW, which was really great. He's a great guy. And, I grew up watching, Medusa and just a lot of people that inspired me.
Okay, okay. Do you use any of their moves today? The people who have inspired you?
Ooh, these moves. I do use the Code of Silence, which is Carmella's move. I like to use that. I use the Black Widow, AJ
Mhm.
Lee's move, the Flying Octopus. I My move set, I have my signature tune up, which is where I hook their legs and bash their head into the top turnbuckle. I use my legs to hook their head and bash their head to the top turnbuckle. I call that the tune up. I do a Nova Northern Lights suplex. I do neck breakers, body slams. I go for a lot of arm bars. I have my own, which I have not seen anyone else use it before. It's a bridging arm bar. And I call it the socket wrench, which I used on Rio in my match in AEW in Miami. Let's see. I want to say like a few wrestlers moves. I don't do a spear. I've gotten speared. There's a few.
Okay.
Moveless.
Now, going back to training, so who's trained you in the wrestling business?
I have I've been trained by a lot of different people, which is really cool. I've gotten to train with Matt Seidel, Low Key, Eva Lise, Saraya Knight, Paige's mom, Larry, Scott, Marty Jannetty. I've gotten to learn from so many different people, Hector Guerrero. So I've gotten to learn from all this wisdom, really take it in, and then the technique, turning it into what fits me best.
Okay.
So that's just a few names to throw in there.
Is there someone you were kind of more bonded to going towards who kind of helped you out more?
Matt's been very helpful. I really like his style. Eva Lise, I always enjoyed training with her. She hasn't been around as much. She's been busy collecting championships everywhere. I've even trained with Mia Yim. I've trained with a lot of really great women. I had a match with Zelina Vega, Thea Trinidad. It was like one of my very first matches, like 10th match, my first like year in. I used to train with her, my first year or two in. It's been a good amount of talent that I've gotten to train from and learn from these veterans when I was really green coming in and new. So it's helped me get ahead quickly.
Okay. Now, what were some of the struggles you dealt with during training?
People don't realize just how hard professional wrestling really is. I'm a former EMT, so I know all about neck, spine, body pain, and I went through so much pain in my neck at first. My body wasn't used to the things that I was doing to it. And now that I know how to condition and train and prepare, I'm much better. But it's a lot of that. It's a lot of mental too. It's a lot of mental, really getting it. But once you do, it's like a light bulb and just gets brighter and brighter. And it's the wonderful thing about wrestling is the possibilities are just limitless.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, how often would you train when you were, starting the training program?
Oh, I moved to Orlando, Florida in May of 2015. So when I left being an EMT, my career job, I left my friends, my family, everyone behind at home. And I put all my money into training, and I would train at least 3 days a week. Mm-hmm. Then I would train even 4 days a week. And then I maybe had shows on the weekend. I still had to work. It was a lot at first.
How long did it take for you going through training to get your first shot?
So I had my first match, I want to say about almost 9 months after I started training, but I had to take a few months off of training. I ended up getting bronchitis and getting sick. I even had to go to like the hospital at one point. I had struggling with money on my own and just really getting myself situated, moving. And I want to say I only had about 6 months or so of training, and then I had my first match.
Oh, wow. Okay. Now, you've mentioned that you're a former EMT. Has that experience helped you out in the wrestling business today? Like, have you used those skills at all?
Yes, I believe so. There's been incidents at training where someone's gotten a concussion, mm-hmm. Someone got split open and they thought they needed stitches, which they did. And I had them go get liquid bandage. It's a liquid Band-Aid from Walgreens, CVS, Walmart. You can get liquid Band-Aid anywhere. And it's an antiseptic that will like clean the wound and help seal it. He went to the doctor the next day and they said, luckily, because you cleaned the wound, you put that in there. He's like, that's why you don't need stitches today, or you don't need stitches now. So I have helped people, and I know myself, like, safety is the main priority in the ring. I don't want to end up paralyzed. These beautiful, talented, amazing women, that have had to leave the business, such as Paige. So unfortunate, because they've gotten injured in the ring and they can't work anymore. So that's always a main priority for me.
Okay. Now, how did you develop your current character?
My character developed pretty easily, came natural to me. And I want to say because it's who I really am, just turned up. Mm-hmm. And I drove a muscle car back home. People called me Nova Girl. So when I got into wrestling, it just, the wrenches, the tire marks on the gear, the grease rag, the wiping my hands, it just came naturally.
All natural, yeah.
It felt like it.
Okay. Now, why orange?
So orange, because that is Chevrolet's original motor color. It's a hot orange. So my Nova's orange. You pop the hood of my car, the engine is orange. And that's what Chevrolet's motor color is. So no one knows that it goes that deep. I'd say it even goes deeper than that. My name's Amber. My birthstone is topaz, which is like a brown, yellow, orange. I'm a Scorpio. I was born in November, and orange has just always been a favorite color of mine. And then nobody really wears it besides Taz. And I was like, I can rock this, and I have meaning behind it. So orange. That's why the orange. Are you not a fan of orange? People don't really always like it.
I like orange a lot, actually. That's my son, my elder son's favorite color. So I'm not sure exactly why, but he loves it. So I love it.
Oh, great.
Now you have mentioned that, your father was a mechanic and then you're a mechanic. What fixes do you do on your car?
I change the oil. I can do, maintenance, like change my brakes. Fix minor things that might break or go wrong. I remember my dojo, we were like traveling with the ring truck. It was WrestleMania. It was WrestleMania when they were here in Orlando. So I think it was like 2017. Mm-hmm. And the wrestling ring truck broke down. And it was my first big diesel truck that I fixed.
Oh, wow. I'm sure that went a long way, actually.
It was great. It really was cool. So all the other guys like don't really know what they're doing, and then I'm like, oh, I got this.
I'll be with them in that corner because no clue. I'm pretty sure I can't even change a tire right now. So
yeah, that's not that hard. I mean, it depends. I mean, it could be some of those you have to use a drill, like a power tool, to really get those off. So
yeah, I remember calling AAA a few times. They're like, why couldn't you do it yourself? I was like, no, stop.
No.
Now, if you could wrestle anyone, male or female, who would it be and why?
Male or female? I mean, the great Eddie Guerrero. The things I could learn. I don't know, Rey Mysterio. Males. Females, Charlotte Flair. China, beautiful China. All right, well, that's two of each. I'll go with that.
I noticed you mentioned Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio. That's more of a lucha style. Now, is there a reason why you mentioned more of a lucha style with the males?
Yes, I feel like the psychology would work better with them. When wrestling a female, it's different. The crowd doesn't want to see the guy just punch her straight in the face and then her just stand right back up, or him just beating on her the whole time, right? They want to see athleticism. They want to see us really compete as wrestlers and go into submissions and holds. And with lucha style, you can really do a lot of that to really tell a story of a male and a female wrestling.
Very technical, yeah.
Right. Not just punch me and, but like give me a backbreaker, and then I'm selling it. And then like I have to fight out of the backbreaker. And if they give me this, then I have to, work my way up. And so it's different.
No, I've seen videos of you wrestling males and females. So how is it different?
I'm sorry, what?
So I've seen videos of you wrestling males and females.
Yes.
So, I've seen, what you were talking about where you're, more of a, how do I say it? Like a different role type, when you're wrestling a male person versus a female.
Yes, it is different. It's fun. I want to say you have to work twice as hard. The guys are naturally bigger
Mhm.
usually. It's I've had some great opponents though.
Now, who's one of your favorite male opponents that you've had so far?
Um, I was trained by Lindsay Dorado as well, and I absolutely love training with him and working with him. I started with him in Orlando, Florida before he got signed to WWE, and he was one of the first guys. So I'm gonna go with Lindsay Dorado as my favorite person to train with, an opponent, and he's doing so great.
Okay, okay. Now, if you've wrestled international, South Africa, Panama, and London, how is that different compared to the US?
Oh my goodness, the hospitality it was amazing. It just, I mean, not just to mention the lifestyle of the countries, getting to see everything, but the crowd. The crowds sing and chant in London, and they're so much fun, so loud, so into it. Same with Panama. I mean, really energetic. Um, just really great energy from the crowds there.
Okay. You don't get that same energy in the US?
You do, but they don't chant and sing songs, or it's a
Different
whole
culture.
different culture.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So, you've obviously worked at NXT, Impact, and AEW. Now, how did it feel to get that phone call?
Great. I mean, Impact Wrestling was my first TV match against Ali. And I was working against, veteran girls, Taya Valkyrie, Rosemary, Sue Young, really like getting to learn and hang in the ring with them. It felt great. And then I had my first NXT match against, as you know, the almost superhero Nikki Ash. And congratulations to her winning, the Raw Women's Championship. She was my first NXT match right before she got called up to the main roster. And then I got to wrestle two of the top women from Japan, Io Shirai and Kairi Sane, with my then tag partner, Tanea Brooks, Rebel, who you'll see in AEW often with Britt Baker. I've gotten to work with a lot of these veteran girls and learn from them. And I feel like that's really how I've gotten so advanced, is the fact that I can hang with them. And I've been giving these opportunities to show that.
Okay. Okay. Now, how were these companies different from each other, from your experience?
It's different because of the different people and styles. At Impact, at WWE, at AEW, you have different people there. So you're going to have different styles and different ideas, different creativity. But it's all a huge production, all the work that goes in. It's amazing. Every company works their ass off.
That's the most important. I mean, this is a great time to be a wrestling fan. I was talking to a lot of friends. I spoke to Justin Credible the other day, and he was like, "This is a crazy time to be a wrestling fan. Just the amount of stuff that's happening now. Now, if you could choose one company, who would you want to be with, and why?"
Oh, what a tough question! Trying to single me out here, trying to give me some heat. I'm open to the opportunity with any company that wants to dotted line contract. But as of right now, I'm happy to be an independent contractor. I'm happy to be able to go everywhere, get my name out there. I'm really enjoying it.
Okay, okay. Now, you've wrestled at a lot of promotions. So, some of the smaller promotions, what's been one of your favorite smaller promotions you've wrestled on?
I really enjoyed winning the IWE Women's Pro Championship in Augusta, Georgia. And I had to vacate that title, unfortunately, because I was too busy with my schedule with international travel that I wasn't able to make the next show dates being out of country. That was 2019. So I was the first IWE Women's Champion, and I believe I'll be coming back to claim what is rightfully mine soon, since I'm not traveling out of country right now.
Okay. Now, who won the belt after you vacated it?
I believe Danny Jordan.
Okay. I actually met her recently as well. She was really mean to me in my hat.
Yeah. I heard she's a mean girl.
She is a little bit. There was also reports that you were working backstage at WWE. What did you do for them?
Oh, so just paid per appearance. Sometimes I was in like a little backstage skit where maybe you're watching Monday Night Raw and you'll see me in the background talking to somebody, or I'm doing something. And I don't always have a match, but I'm there just behind the scenes.
There was also a story about you being an undercover boss.
Yes, I was.
Yeah.
Yes, I was.
So how was that? Yeah.
Funny and true story. I did participate in Stephanie McMahon's Undercover Boss with my old Nova. It was a 73 4-door 6-cylinder engine. I changed my oil with her. She saw me wrestle with Eva Lise. She was in disguise, but I knew it was her. Unfortunately, my segment got cut from air. I had some hard competition. I really did. The kid, the photographer, Jake Atlas. Dang it, Jake. So they made the cut. Me and Wardlow, however, our segments were cut, and you will see us in the end credits of her episode. But just because it didn't air doesn't mean it'll never see the light of day.
Yeah, that's very true. Now, you mentioned that your favorite male opponent. Now, who's your favorite female opponent?
Oh.
You got to show the cup one more time.
Nova World Order, baby. Woo! Man, I've gotten to work such great women. I really enjoyed working Ty Valkyrie. I really like to work, because I'm more of a Sasha Banks size and style in the ring. I like to work bigger women because there's so many possibilities. They're endless. So she was a favorite. Gosh, like I said, I've gotten to work such great women, veteran women, like I named off Sue Young, Rosemary, Sienna, Allison Kay, a lot of really great women.
Now, is there anyone in the industry you do not want to work with ever again? Throw some heat out there a little bit. It's got to be at least one name.
I don't know. It's nothing's coming to mind at the moment.
Okay. I'll take that as an answer. I understand why. Now, where do you see yourself in, let's say, 3 to 5 years?
On your television screen weekly.
Okay.
Contracted somewhere on your TV weekly.
I've actually cut the cable already, so I actually see you on my television. So
yeah, just dishing out those tune-ups.
Okay. Now, do you enjoy playing a face or a heel?
Depends on who I'm in the ring with. My attitude, my persona, my move set, what I'm going to do on the fly, just depends on who I'm in the ring with. If I had to pull a few tools out of my box to try to win, I do that. If it's like a larger opponent where, I'm the one having to work a little hard, it just depends. Depends who I'm against.
Okay. No, because I know you like to carry that big wrench with you to the ring. I didn't see that, and I was like, that's actually a pretty cool weapon to use, during a match.
I've used it before a few times,
I believe you.
but don't tell anybody that.
Definitely, I won't. Um, thinking about like a heel, I was just thinking about your character. I was like, you would actually be a pretty badass heel. Muscle car. You're very beautiful. Obviously, you got that big wrench. It's like thinking of shades of Scott Hall coming out right now because he
Yep.
was also a beautiful man too. But
Yep.
just he was the bad guy,
I
and you're all American bad girl. I could see that happening actually. There was one match I saw you on YouTube where I think you were wearing jeans, you had like the ponytail thing going, and you had more heel characteristics coming out in that match. And I
I
was just like,
that was probably my first match or my first few matches. I actually started as a heel and I was a pretty bad bitch, if I might say so myself for my first few years in.
okay,
You know what? In order to get what I want, maybe I just need to start hitting bitches with wrenches and throwing grease rags in their face,
there's
wiping my
nothing
hands when
wrong
I'm
with
done with them.
that.
There you go. Yeah.
I'm a big fan of heels. I mean, Eddie Guerrero, like you mentioned, favorite wrestler of all time. Uh, you can't change my mind. you know, so this place is called Figure Fight Club. Figure, obviously being for action figure. So how would it feel to get your own action figure?
Oh my gosh, actually I had a custom action figure. It's like a Divas action figure place on Instagram where they really hand make them paint their outfits, made me my
Mhm.
own.
Oh
Um,
wow.
but that was a few years ago and I got new gear since then. So I would love an action figure. Let's get geared up. Yeah.
Comes with a Chevy Nova, of course, the orange one.
Oh, of course. We need the Chevy Orange Nova. I had a fan bring the orange Chevy Nova. It wasn't the same year as mine, but close enough. And I
Mhm.
signed it for him. And I was like, oh, I thought I got to keep it. And those little like custom car kits, they cost a penny.
Oh,
But
they do.
what do you think about me getting a bunch of orange like Hot Wheels little cars for kids?
I think that would be
Autograph those
phenomenal. I
at
mean, not
shows,
even for
right?
the kids. I think for the older folks too. They
I
would
think
take
older
it.
folks want the ones that are like this size, but like the
Mhm.
kids, like the Hot Wheels.
I mean, I have
Yeah,
some space over here that I could definitely put one of those
put a
cars
car
there.
there. All right.
Now, just kind of going back to it, to everything now, what I guess, what blessings, I guess, do you feel this, hit you in the last year and a half, 2 years has been crazy. COVID it's kind of wrecked a lot of stuff.
Oh yes, it has. Whew, that's a
Yeah.
breather there. Yeah, this, I just never saw this coming. I don't think anyone did. It's just
Mhm.
what a crazy time to be living in. Or even the poor children growing up in this time wearing masks and being scared. Um, I feel bad for the children. It's just a really crazy time. And I'm so blessed by the health that I have, my family's health, my Nova heads out there. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't have not made it through surviving, 2020. And I just want to say, I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for getting geared up with me, getting my autographed photos and pictures and supporting me. You guys are the best. So, I mean, I'm blessed in many ways, and that's just a few.
Oh, that's great. Now, last question here. What advice would you give any wrestler kind of breaking into the business today?
So my advice to anyone that wants to pursue professional wrestling is to be realistic. And that's a big pill for some people to swallow, you know what I mean? But you need to be realistic. You need to have something to fall back on. You need to understand that what you put in is what you're going to get out. Like I said, I left my career job as an EMT, my friends, my family. I moved to Orlando, Florida by myself. I had never even stepped in a wrestling ring. I didn't just give up after a few months. I took a break and rested if I had to, but I got right back in there. Financially, you need to be prepared. It doesn't all just come at once. And it's a really long, hard road, but it's worth it. It's worth it if you do succeed. But you know what? If you want to be a superstar, and you want people to pay money to come see you, give them a reason to. Go to the gym, look amazing, be amazing, put that work in the ring. You know, there's just so much. And you see too many people out there that just half-ass it. And I'm not a half-ass person. You want something done right, do it yourself.
Fantastic message to send out to everyone. Is there any future events you're going to be out at that people can find you at?
Yes. So I will be returning to Shine Wrestling out in Tampa, Florida, September 19th. I have a few hero cons coming up, meet and greets. I have a few shows coming up, and then just stay tuned. Keep watching AEW from when I pop up. And, you know, you guys can follow my social media. It's Amber Nova 73 because I drive a 73 Chevy Nova. Everyone always asks what's with the 73. Why the 73? Because I couldn't just be Amber Nova online. Someone stole that name already from me. So I had to put something at the end of my name. So I put the year in my car. One day that'll just be like, you know, WWE or AEW or something else. I'll get rid of the letters or the numbers, you know, I'll exchange it. So yeah, follow me online if you're not familiar with my work. YouTube Amber Nova, check me out. And then, you know, if you ever want to get geared up, just send a message. I got personalized autographed 8x10s, photos, grease rags. I'm currently out of hats, but I'll be getting those.
I asked for a hat too. I couldn't get one because you didn't have any.
I know, I'm out right now.
Perfect. Thank you very much for doing this interview. I'll be from Figure Fight Club. Again, Amber, thank you very much. You know, and you know, we might have to have a part two in a couple of months to see how you're doing.
Cool. That sounds great.
Perfect. Thank you again.
Thank you.